Hey Aries. It's turning into a bloodbath now. Whose video goes up next? Oh, the pressure. I felt so pressured. I was like, let me go hang out with some Aries. They're comfortable with pressure. And you guys are actually not pressuring me, so let's do the Aries reading. I think this is what makes people so much dislike Geminis. That we are so oppositional. Ooh, I feel the pressure. Really, it's turning into a bloodbath. People like getting mad at each other for leaving comments under other videos. I guess maybe I should say something about the selection process. There really is none. If I happen to think of something that applies to a certain sign and I have to do videos that day, I'll put that sign first just because I need to talk to them because I've had this insight and I don't want to forget it. Have you heard that Kanye quote? I forgot better things than you ever thought of. I feel like that a lot. So I have to get things out when I know them, when I have the insight. It's like, okay, let me put Libra first, or let me, do Aries. So, but in this case, it's not because of some great insight I had today, but it's because I felt so pressured, and you guys deal really well with pressure. You don't see them, you don't let them see you sweat. That's very impressive to me. So let's talk a little bit about what's left of January, because like I said in one of the other videos, it really wouldn't have mattered if I had done this video at the beginning of the month, because the first 2 weeks nothing's going on anyway. And what that means is that you've been really frustrated because nothing is going on, and I don't think there's anything worse for an Aries than that there be nothing going on. Oh, and I'd also like to address, if you for any reason feel like I'm sad or anything. People have been saying you look a little down in your videos. Not at all. I'm not at all down. I think I'm a bit more contemplative as I get to know people better, and I'm becoming more comfortable with this platform. And so more and more of me emerges, and I do have definite different facets to my personality. So no, I'm not sad, and I'm in no way sad while doing your reading. I'm actually really happy to be doing them. I miss doing them. So just to clarify that, so you don't think that, because I know enthusiasm is very important to an Aries, and I am really enthusiastic about doing this. I'm just really chill. Jamaica chilled me out. I'm good, feeling good. So let's talk about what's going on with you guys. So the first 2 weeks was nothing. Nothing was going on. So irritating. What's going to happen? Why aren't things moving? That's okay though, because now things start to move. And here's how it's going to work for you. This is the way I want you to think of it. You know how you have to pull a slingshot or an arrow back before you can shoot it or let it go, so it can go much farther than where you are right then. That process for you psychologically is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. So you will have a lot of thoughts about the past. You will be thinking a lot about people from the past, but also, the people who have had the most impact on you, and why. And how you reacted to those situations, and what did you learn from them. It's like for you, the emotional Mercury retrograde hasn't ended yet. Yay! However, like I said, it's that pulling back. Excuse me. And the only reason it's being done is because you have a lot of new paradigms to establish for yourself in this coming year. You have a lot of ground to gain. You are set up to do new and bigger things than you've done in the past. And the only way for you to get there is first to have clarity on your past. That's the pulling back. And so it's like you can't really know that you're done with something until you go back and really look at it with fresh eyes and say, wow, I'm so glad I'm done with that. I'm so glad I'm not that person that reacted that way in that situation anymore. I'm so comfortable leaving my past behind because I feel new and I feel different. You really need the context of revisiting the past to be able to really feel the difference in yourself now, and almost also to be sick of it. You know, you need to kind of be sick of where you are to feel like you can venture out. You know, this is what's going to start to happen towards the end of the month. The longing. I gotta go. I gotta move. I gotta go. I've been patient. I was patient all of December. I hear you. I was patient all of December. Nothing happened. Now it's January. Now it's a new year. Still nothing happening. What is going on? I get it. I get it. I hear you. I feel it. But now, just like I said in last month's video, now things will start to move. So, what else happens? You know, sometimes you have to be pulled back into your past to realize how sick of those dynamics you really were. How sick of that friendship, how sick of that job, how sick of that guy, how sick of that girl. You need to revisit it only to get irritated enough to push all the way through it and just be done with it and heal from it and move on. And I really do think that that's what's happening with you guys. Like, I feel like your dreams are going to be really vivid. I feel like you have this sort of magnetic energy going on right now. You know when you can tell that someone or something, like a company, a band, someone is on the come up, you can just sense like, oh, they're going to be big. Right? You hear something or you see something or you see like an actress and you're like, oh wow, like she's going to be really good. She's going to really, you know, make it. People are sensing that energy from you because you do have a really fruitful period coming up. People will react this way to you in the coming weeks and into February as well, where they'll really be offering up lots of opportunities for you to get what you want and indulge yourself in your desires that you've kind of bottled up and been, you know, putting aside for, well, I was going to say a few months, but this whole restructuring process that you guys have been going through has been going on for years. So look at this not only as the fruition of a few months of patience, but much more long-term than that. You've got, you know, you've been living with this energy, I'd say, for, I don't know, at least 6-7 years. Easy. Right? So let's take a look at these cards here. And then we'll get to the big lesson that you learn from this period of years that we were just talking about. And the lesson is this. For all the rushing around, Aries, and all the decision making and leadership, I think what the past few years has been trying to teach you, and with some of you perhaps a bit violently, because you're stubborn, is that no matter what you do, things only happen when they're supposed to. There was almost this insistence of, you know, that you must have faith. Here, let's look at these cards. So the first card out of the deck was the King of Swords. And because I understand the Aries nature pretty well, I understand how this very easily comes up for you, although it's an air sign. However, what I like about it is that it came up with the King of Pentacles. And you know, that's actually pretty accurate to me. An Aries, especially an Aries man, but also because Aries is kind of an androgynous sign, they do embody the passion of the earth signs and the quickness and the wit of the air signs. You know, there is an earthy passion to an Aries, but it's so light It's so sensual and kind of ablaze that this is a combination that makes a lot of sense to me. And it's these separate parts of you that are so synergistic that are now coming together and really wanting you to move. You know? Move on. You know, you're having a breakthrough in 2017, and in true Aries fashion, it starts pretty quick for you. I mean, yeah, 2 weeks of lag time at the beginning of the year hasn't, been the best. But now you have this moment where these, perhaps at times oppositional parts of you come together in this beautiful way, which is kind of based on impatience, which makes sense, of just like, I'm ready. You know what? I'm ready to push past everything I've been through, everything that hurt me, everything, blah, 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 this person, that person, whatever. We're leaving it all behind. We're moving. Excuse me. My throat is like burning. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to drink something. Sorry about that. Alright. So now, these two sides of you have come together in this beautiful way, and produce this not only need and want for a breakthrough, but actually going through the contemplative process and planning it out and saying, this is what we're doing now. Consciously making the decision and then instinctively following through on it to become your ultimate self. Boom. Then you show up as your card. So we go through this period of stagnation and the resulting planning. Here's the pulling back that leads to even more. And then what do you run smack dab into? Love. Good. And what's different about this love than before? Something that has been rare with Aries but has been abundant lately with you guys. Introspection. Knowledge of oneself. When you have this ability, you can make for a very, very good partner. Because if you know yourself very well and are comfortable with yourself because of that knowledge, you become very easy to get along with. Because you don't take things personally. It's only people whose identity isn't fully formulated, an identity that has holes or doubts in it, that takes others' actions personally. Right? Because they're looking for a sense of either validation or rejection in the other person. But when you don't need validation or rejection, right? This is why this is the Virgo card. Virgos don't need validation or rejection. That's what makes them so powerful. You gain this ability over the past few years of really being put through it. I mean, listen, you guys have done really well because you're strong. But it's been a lot. Really. There are times where you really felt like you couldn't, you might not survive it. And you thought that very quietly where no one could hear you. Right? And now we have the pullback of the slingshot. And you are catapulted forward into movement. From 2 of Wands to 3 of Wands. Fantastic. We've made the plans and we are ready to carry them out. To new love and understanding. Reaching out for one another. With a depth of character that may not have existed before. Forged through years of hard work. Hard inner work. Bottom of the deck. 6 of Pentacles. Now we enter a time of plenty and celebration, and you are at the top of that list, Aries. You have much, much, much to be rewarded for. And 2017 will be that year, finally, where life picks up. And you get all that like new inspiration and new people and new experiences and new love and new places that you've been looking for. You know, do I want to try a completely different profession? What do I want to do with my life now? What's my new identity? Okay, I've come out of this cycle. I've come out of this period. I get that there's a stagnation that follows that, you know. But where's the next door? What does it look like? What's going on? Now we start to see the beginnings of that door opening, of you finally finding a direction again after feeling lost for a while. For some of you, quite some time. Not being able to shake that feeling of having everything wrenched away from you. Not being able to shake the feeling of unfairness, being treated unfairly. Now all that begins to turn around. And you are set free by your own thinking, by your ability to compromise parts of yourself to become your best self. Okay? That's a great reading. I'm so excited. Your year looks so, so, so good. Yeah. It's going to be a good year. Alright, so I will leave my email address below if you guys want to contact me, you know, just comment on stuff, or because you want to get a reading, or because you want Cynthia's information from last time with the malas, you know, however, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. And I will see you next month. Bye, Aries. Thank you for being so patient.